What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nerdy Mark channel. I am Sid the Nerdy Mark, and today I have your review of NXT TakeOver in your house. So it has been an hour removed since TakeOver in Your House has aired at the time of me recording this. And I did want to mention real quick that I really enjoyed seeing, the old In Your House set that, very reminiscent of the first In Your House. We even had the host of In Your House coming in here. That was pretty cool. I forget his name, but it was really cool to see all that. Not to mention the old school WWE ice cream bar commercial, and the commercial that Adam Cole Bebe was in. It was cool, man. I love them bringing back the old school style, have a very much of a retro feel. So I have to say kudos on the presentation for this pay-per-view. And of course, we did open with Code Orange's amazing performance, so good stuff there. But we did have 6 matches on the card, and let's talk about each of them, break them down, and I'll tell you guys how I felt about each of them, and finally give this pay-per-view a rating, whether I give it 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down, somewhere in the middle. Let's find out. This is TakeOver in your house, not my house. So, our first match of the evening is a 6-woman tag match between the team of Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez versus the team of Mia Yim, Tegan Nox, and Shotzi Blackheart. I gotta say that this was a much better match than I expected, so I will give it that. It was surprisingly not as messy as I thought it was gonna be, so that was cool. It hit all the spots. We had a huge tope out of the ring to take out all the competitors, which was done by Tegan Nox. Mia Yim and Candice LeRae brawled towards the back, so it essentially became a regular old tag match. Finally, the match ended when there was a miscommunication between Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. This allowed the faces to capitalize. Tegan Nox hits her former best friend with a huge chokeslam and a shiniest wizard to win the match for the good guys. And then we move on to Finn Balor versus Damien Priest, a match that I thought was pretty much the sleeper hit of the night. I think Finn Balor has been delivering hit after hit every TakeOver that is unfortunately overshadowed by some other match or the main event. But, I got to give props here to both Priest and Balor. Priest was absolutely looked like $1 million here. Although I didn't really care much for his gear, even though my buddy Tim said it was reminiscent of HBK in '96. It looks better on Shawn Michaels, in my opinion, than it does on Mr. Priest here. Nonetheless, Priest does many times try to go for the jackknife powerbomb, which he does finally hit onto Balor on the apron. However, it is to no avail because Balor, through the skin of his teeth, is able to hit a couple of coup de grace and finally win this match. But again, neither men looked bad in this. Nobody suffered from this match. I think it was a really good match. Balor put over Priest big time, even in defeat. Damien looked amazing. He showed a kind of a sign of respect. I don't know if doing the guns to him was a show of respect, but I mean, if it was, Priest absolutely deserved it. Balor may have won the match, but Priest was the real MVP of this match. So we do have the NXT North American Championship match next. Keith Lee, the champion, defending against Johnny Gargano. In case you are wondering, Johnny Gargano is, I believe, cosplaying as Taskmaster, who, if you understand the character of Taskmaster, you'll understand how it makes sense within the context of Gargano and NXT. Anyways, what a great match here between these two men. Gargano and Lee, both absolute amazing wrestlers to see in the ring, obviously. Gargano now with his heel tactics, being a little bit more crafty, along with his speed, and of course Keith Lee using his strength and speed to his advantage. So pretty evenly matched, believe it or not. Definitely very much a David and Goliath match here, but it's still in a way evenly matched because Gargano does make up for his size with his craftiness. So that was really cool. At one point, this is when the match really started picking up for me. Keith Lee elbows Johnny Gargano through the plexiglass where the fans are supposed to be, and he goes and he's picking up and taking him into the ring. Candice LeRae comes in, tries to distract Keith Lee. Mia Yim wards off Candice LeRae, but the referee is distracted. This allows Johnny Gargano to bring out his trusty little friend, his key, from his trunks and just poke Lee in the eye one more time, in the good eye. This eye is already damaged because of the attacks from last week, as well as his hand. That's kind of what he keeps going for throughout this match, the eye and the hand of Keith Lee. But Keith Lee's able to power out of everything. He even kicks out of a final heartbeat, or one final beat, whatever it's called. Finally, the match does end when Keith Lee hits 2 Spirit Bombs and a Big Bang Catastrophe to retain his North American title. Dinner with the Garganos next week should be a very interesting one. We now get what I think was the wildest match on this card, and that is the Backlot Brawl for the NXT Championship. You have the champion, Adam Cole, baby, taking on the Velveteen Dream. That's right. And like I said, this was one of the wildest matches on this card. This is probably the wildest match on this card. We've seen so many of these cinematic matches, and they've all been pretty wacky and pretty wild, and this one has been no different. Minus the Gargano Ciampa one. That one was a little bit more serious, but this one was pretty crazy. Now, the lighting kind of sucked in this match, not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna hold that against the match because, well, it is only lit with all, parking lot cars, which makes sense. You're supposed to do whatever you got to do in the ring. So yeah, but the thing is, naturally, most of this match did take place outside of the ring. Velveteen Dream was cosplaying Negan, so that was pretty cool. So second cosplay of the night. Like I said, this was crazy stuff. Cole and Dream are very much evenly matched throughout the match and whatnot. Undisputed Era obviously get involved. They come in a white Impala and they unload the truck in which Adam Cole came in. By the way, Cole came inside in like a big, huge monster truck with the Undisputed Era logo on it. And of course, Dream came in a freaking awesome looking Lambo. So that was awesome. I was expecting it to be a purple one, but whatever. Yeah, this was cool. We had the Era coming in and just dumping a bunch of chairs into the ring. Dexter Lumis shows up from under the ring. How long has he been there? And he kidnaps Strong and Fish and drives them away. It looks like Dream is going to win the match, but unfortunately that doesn't happen because Cole hits a low blow onto Velveteen Dream and then a Panama Sunrise onto the chairs, onto the sea of chairs. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole retains the NXT Championship, and Velveteen Dream will not be able to challenge for the title ever again as long as Cole is champion. I wonder who Cole's next challenger could be. Could it be one of the participants in the next match? I don't know. We now have Karrion Kross taking on Tommaso Ciampa. Obviously, Kross's intro was great as it always is. Good match here, not the best match that I've seen Ciampa in. This is all Karrion Kross, and this match is set up to build Karrion Kross as a legit competitor, and I would not be surprised if he is going to go after the NXT Championship at some point in the near future. We did have Ciampa hit a Willow's Bell onto Karrion Kross. That is probably the most significant amount of offense that he gets in, but finally Ciampa is put away rather quickly by Kross with the straight jacket. He locks it in until Ciampa passes out, and that's that. And finally, our main event. We had the Queen, Charlotte Flair, the NXT Women's Champion, versus the Nightmare, Rhea Ripley, versus the Genius of the Sky, Io Shirai, in a triple threat match for the NXT Women's title. Awesome match here. I am actually really glad that this was the main event. I was a little bit surprised that the Backlot Brawl wasn't, but I can understand why this one was. Just all kinds of amazing athleticism from these three women. These three are three of the best women's athletes that we have so far in all of professional wrestling, in my opinion. So yes, including Charlotte, okay? Including Charlotte. I know she's pushed a lot. She has all the championships and whatnot, but you have to remember she is a viable wrestler. She is really talented in the ring. I know some people who may be watching this won't agree, but I will say that I do think that Charlotte is a very good wrestler. Does she deserve the NXT Championship? No, but she still is a very good wrestler. Just keep that in mind. Anyway, this was really, really cool. I think all three women just showed so much desperation, and they're just willing to do anything and everything to either win or retain the NXT Women's Championship. Charlotte does introduce the kendo stick once again, whacks it across the back of Rhea Ripley at one point. Io Shirai with the spot of the night. She climbs on top of the set and does a huge moonsault onto both Rhea and Charlotte. So that was cool. But the finish did come when the Queen does hit a spear and then locks Rhea Ripley in the figure 8. But we did have Io Shirai do a huge moonsault onto Rhea Ripley, covered Rhea Ripley with her hand. 1, 2, 3. Io Shirai is your new NXT Women's Champion, and she gets the celebration of a lifetime. She gets all the streamers. It was amazing. It felt like a celebration from New Japan, and I feel like she even did the Rainmaker pose when she kind of held her hand out like this. I don't know, maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I am so glad, I am so happy that Io Shirai won the title, because it is about damn time. It's been way overdue for her to win this title, and I'm glad that she finally did it. Now I just want Kairi Sane to move over to SmackDown and get the SmackDown Women's title off of Bayley. Then at Survivor Series we can have a whole full Joshi triple threat, and that would be so awesome. I hope they build up to that down the line. But anyway, awesome match, and I think this was a very good way to end out this pay-per-view. So overall, despite the whole pandemic and not having a full-fledged crowd and it not being in a big arena and everything, I would say that NXT TakeOver in your house absolutely delivered, and it shows the greatness of the NXT brand and why it is the best show on WWE right now. I think if AEW has the best tag team division in North America, I would say that NXT has the best women's division in North America, and it was shown across 2 separate matches. The women's match in the beginning, the tag team match, as much as I had very low hopes for it, it very much did pleasantly surprise me. And of course, the main event was absolutely stellar. So, and of course, congratulations to Io Shirai once again. And I would say that is absolutely my match of the night. I would say the Backlot Brawl came close, as did Gargano versus Lee. But at the end, I'm going to give it to the women's triple threat because, you know, I got the result that I wanted, first of all. And second of all, we saw 3 of the greatest athletes. I know I said 3 of the best women's athletes, but I take that back. 3 of the best professional wrestlers in the industry today going at it. And this was a textbook match. So if you haven't watched it, I would suggest you absolutely watch it. But this was my match of the night. And as far as the rating goes, I am giving NXT TakeOver in your house a thumbs up. So that pretty much wraps up my review for NXT TakeOver in your house. Not my house, in your house. Let me know what you guys thought about the show in the comments section below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on social media and tell your friends about the Nerdy Mark. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your support during this time. Stay safe. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.